So we would like to welcome Jaisudhan sir. He is an NFT test lead at Cognizant. He would be speaking on automated biometrics NFT in continuous testing and monitoring. To know more about him, please check out the following link. Over to you, sir.
Sir, I'll stop sharing and the stage is all yours.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Let me share my screen. Hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, sir. It's
Yeah.
visible.
Hi all, good evening. I'm very privileged to be part of ITGTI 2022 finals. So here here to present my paper on automated biometrics NFT in continuous testing and monitoring. So I have list of agendas to cover. So like introduction to biometrics login and its presence for NFT. What are the challenges in validating biometrics performance and its resiliency? And why it is really needed to do NFT validation on biometric services, and also how we can enable the biometrics NFT into continuous testing and monitoring, and also what are the process and technology stack involved in this, and what are the frameworks we have done which can be utilized for any other biometrics related non-functional testing, and what are the key performance indicators and the benefits we can read through this automation. So, before we get into the session in detail, I'll just like to set up a context on what is biometrics login, why it is really needed, uh, because it provides the strong security mechanism in terms of authentication. It replaces the traditional way of login, like to remember the physical credentials to log into your mobile app or web. Uh, Rather, you can just use your fingerprints or face, and that will allow you to access your private contents within your mobile app or web application. So this particular framework has been done based on the mobile app biometrics authentication, how we can validate the authentication, biometric authentication backend services in terms of load testing and also its operational platform capacity and resiliency using NeoLoad and some of APM monitoring tool, which we'll be discussing in detail in the upcoming slides. So as everyone, right, it's moving interested towards digital enabled platforms, and even the user will get interacted through this biometrics login rather the physical credentials mechanism of login. So definitely we are going to have large number of adaptation to biometrics login authentication for any of the mobile apps or the web application, especially in banking and finance related firms. At that time, we are going to have a lot of traffic into this particular feature, and that will raise a lot of questions on the non-functional capability of the biometric feature itself and its backend services. So how we can simulate or emulate this in terms of non-functional load testing so that we can validate its performance and also its platform capacity and resiliency, everything before we put it into live. So that is going to be a bigger challenge because all the biometrics authentication mechanism works based on the backend services, which uses a lot of public key pairs and the private key pairs. The login challenges all will be generated and validated dynamically during runtime, and we cannot simulate this. Say, for example, if you want to validate 15K or 20K biometrics login in a peak hour as a load test scenario, you cannot generate that many login challenges or public key pairs before each and every test and keep it ready and feed into your script as a test data so that you can test it, because all those key pairs also will not be valid for a long time. It will get expired in a quicker timeline for, say, for example, 5 minutes or 10 minutes is based on how your organization is going to set up those validity. So with this in mind, we cannot simulate this feature itself in terms of load testing. So I'm going to talk about how we made this possible, how we integrated as a framework solution using NeoLoad. So how we can test this successfully. So I've listed down various challenges with the kind of problem statement. As a nature of biometrics working mechanism is so difficult due to a secure design, because you cannot create that many public key and login challenge and map for each and individual unique test users whenever they wanted to try and attempt the login uniquely, because everything should be unique and you have to map everything unique during runtime, so that it will get validated successfully and you will can get into the mobile app to access your private contents. So if you see some of the significant challenges, it's like the architecture and the service model itself, it's complex because you cannot compromise your security parameters when you use biometrics or identification verification. Also, the challenges in simulating its real-time scenario itself to validate its performance and the capacity. And the next one is it's hard to generate unique keys and login challenges in runtime for the amount of load which we are anticipated and feed into your test scripts as a test data, because it will not be valid for a long time, as I mentioned earlier. So even if you can use Neolo to write a lot of algorithms to generate those keys, but Neolo doesn't support all the inbuilt JavaScript libraries in Java. It will just support the Java elements, the uh, basic operations only within Neoload. So you have to, even if you can write some of the algorithm outside of your Neoload scripts also, you need to integrate those algorithms within Neoload script so that you can extract all this public key and the login challenges for every login attempt. Also, it's difficult to find bugs in a faster phase, so that we can produce our product uh, effectively and release into market as a fastest time to market. For that, we need to continuous testing and monitoring as well, so that we can identify the issues early in the life cycle and release the app into the market. So these are the certain significant challenge we have with the biometrics NFT. So why biometrics validation is really important, because you have to understand your performance aspect as well. Not only you are not relied only on the security aspects, you have to rely on the performance aspect as well in terms of the customer experience, how speed it is, how resilient your platform, whether your platform can cope up with the amount of traffic or expected, can withstand against those expected or unexpected load or not. Also, you need to know your decision very quickly when you build something and test it before we get into market. Um, so there are various key outcomes we can reap out of this solution, like you will have efficient authentication mechanism without compromising the performance aspect, improved business because of it can support under any load, also better customer experience through model logins, also increase savings and return on investment, also faster time to market and better business growth. So these are the significant reasons why we need to validate the biometric services performance and its resiliency as well. So I don't want to spend much time on this slide because everyone aware of what is DevOps. It's a collaborative way of building the software product and making that into market in a fast-phased approach. But still, we can the NFT automation can fit into the DevOps model in term specifically the performance uh, life cycle, and the end-to-end life cycle can be automated and fit into the DevOps model. Also, the monitoring also can be done in a continuous way. So it enables the continuous testing and the continuous monitoring of biometric services for any changes happens to the particular services can be validated and monitored and released, and issues arise quickly. So we can deliver this continuously through continuous testing and monitoring. Yeah, so this is the main slide where we are going to talk in detail what are the process involved and the technology stack involved for creating this framework. Uh, so here you need to follow few steps to test your biometric services. First of all, you need to understand how your biometrics backend services are working and what are its logic behind that. You need to understand that, and based on that, you need to write your own framework. So here we understood how the developers written their backend logics and how they are validating each and every login attempt through fingerprint or face ID. Through the backend service, we have created the automated scripts and the test bed, which enable us to validate during runtime uniquely for each and every login attempt. So first of all, uh, we need to create a public private key pairs and also the login challenge. For that, I've developed a Java-based algorithm using some secured specifications. Each and every apps will use their own security specification algorithm. I cannot reveal that due to security constraint, but I have picked up based on my mobile app security specification, and using that we have written few Java-based algorithm modules to generate unique public and private key pairs and also the login challenge based on the user inputs which we pass through from our new load scripts. And then I've created some new load project to capture the mobile app biometrics backend service. I've tried to record the flow from mobile device to the server, having new load as a proxy and capture the backend services, microservices. Uh, there are there were few services involved in that to 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 map the users to particular public or private key, and then validate the unsigned login challenge. Then it will validate whether the given challenge is valid or not, so that uh, user can be logged in successfully. So I've created a script and captured all the backend services, and then exported the developed logo Java-based algorithms as a runnable JDK or jar file, and we have to place the jar file into new load project library JS folder so that it can be accessed via new load JavaScript steps. Then I've designed and developed the new load performance test scripts and with the customized JavaScript to invoke the Java algorithms to get your unique public key and the login challenges whenever for each and every iteration of biometrics attempt. So, and also we have set up the monitoring agents from Dynatrace. Dynatrace, you might have heard, Dynatrace is a popular application performance management tool. It has set of monitoring agents which needs to be installed in the platform side. Wherever the biometric services are hosted, we install those agents to that platform. And then we will started collecting the data from there so that you can monitor during the test. Also after the test, it's kind of both live monitoring and the test analysis can be quickly done. Then we have designed and executed the real-time performance test cases based on the business expected load projection and successfully validated its performance and the resiliency, and ensured the biometric backend services are resilient enough to withstand and serve the customer. With this, we've realized the determinal um, business improvements as the users have started adapting to this biometrics login rather than the physical login. So in terms of technology stack, we have used Java to generate a SHA 256 with ECDC DSA algorithm-based function for generating private key and generating login challenge for signature verification. The new load script, which uses both the backend services and also the customized JavaScript to invoke the Java to get its public key and private key for every login attempt. Yeah, as I said, the Java customized JavaScript have sorry, have attached how we can invoke the Java jars from new load JavaScript step what is the details here? I don't want to take much time on that. Everyone can refer that, and it's a kind of general syntax to invoke the Java input near load using JavaScript. So you can write any Java-based algorithms outside of your new load script and uh, convert as a runnable Java and place it in new load JS live folder. So you can manipulate everything based on your need. And the Dynatrace as a set for continuous monitoring and deep dive analysis, which helped us a lot to identify any issues uh, and provide recommendations for any performance and platform related issues we observed during the course of biometric validation. So yeah, this is the entire framework within DevOps lifecycle. So as soon as any changes and the code deployment happen to the biometric services into the performance environment or the NFT environment, the Jenkins, we have used Jenkins, it will trigger the job, which will invoke the new load, and that new load will fire the request on the system under test, the biometric services, with all the technical setup we just discussed in the previous slide, by generating all the key pairs during runtime, also validating everything through the backend services we have set up in the new load script, and allows the successful login to access the subsequent requests like viewing your account summary, viewing your transaction details, etc. So we have simulated based on the business projection in terms of like load, stress, endurance, scalability, everything, and the failover disaster of the platform as well. And at the same time, Dynatrace is doing the live monitoring of all the components of biometrics whenever the system under test, and providing us live monitoring with that customized dashboard in terms of various metrics, which will help us to understand the behavior of this system. Also, if any issues observe, the alerts will be triggered via Jira ticket or the Teams or ServiceNow or the email. We have used email-based alerts through Dynatrace. If there is any performance breach or the platform level breach, we'll get to know as soon as we'll get to know. The deep dive analysis will be done uh, with the support of project stakeholders, and we'll try to reduce it and fix it quickly. Uh, so this is the high level outline of the framework, how we integrated within DevOps cycle as well with the continuous testing and monitoring. So these are the key parameters, the performance indicator metrics we should be focusing on when you test any kind of biometrics feature in terms of non-functional testing. The first one is number of sign challenge per hour. Uh, Number of signs balance per hour, which gives you how many successful biometrics login happened during your test. The second one is the maximum sign challenge per second. It's kind of the transaction per second. How much could you achieve successfully without affecting any performance? The third one is the average and 90 percentile response time of the services included in biometric transaction. You will have your business target. Okay, this particular transaction should not go beyond 3 seconds. If it is breaching that one, we need to deep dive into that and using Dynatrace and see why it is taking time to respond beyond 3 seconds. The third one is the false match rate. It's nothing but number of error attempt, the failed attempt during biometrics testing. The next one is service availability percentage, like how much, how many the failure rates, how many failed match rate percentage happen during the course of your load testing or any other NFT testing, and the resource utilization of the biometric services platform where it hosted, to understand whether your services having enough capacity and the processing capacity and the memory in terms of handling the incoming request or not. This will give you detailed analysis of and the health status of your services as well. And the next one is the RPO and RTO service objective in terms of platform resiliency. So these metrics will be used during failover and disaster recovery testing. When you inject your lot of load during your NFT testing, the backend team the infra team will try to bring down and bring up or failing over from one node to other node to see any withstand the active node can able to handle incoming request or not. So those measurement will be measured against RPO and RTO SLAs based on your business expectation. Also the breaking point when your existing platform it is breaking, so that you can understand your current system capacity. Okay, I need to increase, do kind of vertical scaling or horizontal scaling in the future if you are expecting more and more usage through biometrics login rather than other way of login. So all these parameters are very key in terms of touching the biometric feature. Everything should be validated properly so that we can ensure your biometric feature is stable enough to handle any load without any user experience, impacting the user experience. I mean, yeah. So finally, we have got numerous benefits through this framework, like liveless simulation. As I said, you cannot generate 15K public key and the login challenge before each and every test and keep it ready as a test data and pass it into a script to validate your biometric services, because it will get expired in 5 to 10 minutes itself. You cannot use that even if you generate and keep it ready. That's why it was unrealistic to simulate these services. And through this mechanism, the integration we have done that during runtime itself, we are generating and pausing, validating the services as well. Everything is automated, everything is dynamic here. It reduces almost 4 hours of effort for each and every test, as 99% of the efforts eliminated. And also, it also eliminated the unrealistic view of testing, the non-functional testing of biometric services itself. Also, it provides a holistic monitoring with Dynatrace integration with this solution. It always monitor the services in live. Um, it provides the live monitoring of misusage, performance, and the capacity, everything. So also we had numerous technical benefits like efficient performance, the right planning of the capacity for your feature projection, and the less failure. Also the faster time to market as it is can be, or it has integrated with DevOps model as well. The final one, the real-time KPI monitoring from centralized dashboard, which provides better customer experience. Also, the lot of return on investment. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
So, yeah.
Really sorry to interrupt, but we just have a
Yeah.
couple of minutes left. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost done.
All right.
So, yeah. Through this framework, yeah, we have achieved numerous benefits by eliminating all the hurdles in testing the biometrics services itself. I thought it will be helpful for everyone if someone can face similar kind of challenges and wanted to test biometric services as part of their project. Any questions?
Hi, Jaisudhan. I just wanted to check on the resilience part. How did you
Yeah.
test the resiliency use cases? Did you use any chaos testing tools, or have you done those
No,
manually?
no. We have the platform team who handles the platform. They'll be manually bringing up and bringing down the nodes, failing over from one node to other node or one data center to another data center. But we'll be simulating the load continuously through our new load test. That will be keep on putting the traffic on all the nodes, and but the backend team will be manually bringing down and bringing up the nodes to see if any active nodes can handle the incoming loads or not without any impact, either within the data center or across the data centers.
Okay, thank you.
Always.
Hello.
Any
If
other questions?
questions, you can just unmute or just drop a message in the chat. I think Jaisudhan is there to answer them. Alankrit, you can take the control.
Yes, sir.
Presentation is done.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
So thank you, Jaisudhan sir. It was a wonderful session.